May I have your attention, please? From his high desert studios in Taos, New Mexico, it's time for Harry on RadioWilder.com. Music, stories, life. Now, here's Harry.
Pretty nice to have an intro from a professional like Captain Dave. I actually was sitting back listening to it thinking, man, maybe I don't have a worldwide network now, but I might have a citywide with Dave. So we're entering into our second month with the program, and we keep having an audience that's growing and requesting things from us. Basically, more music. So this show is going to be expanded. We're going to have more tunes to play, still have our stories, and have the little extras that hopefully this show will come along, like the professionalism of Dave and Terry doing his stuff, and we've actually even improved some of the audio equipment, so hopefully you'll enjoy and see some of that and hear some of that, more importantly. So today we're going to start off with Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, and better known or earlier known as in Nirvana. And when Kurt Cobain killed himself, the band broke up, and Dave started basically single-handedly the Foo Fighters. They became a powerful group. He's done a lot of wonderful things. In fact, he did a documentary that we saw, and I should get this information about a sound studio that everybody used to use in Los Angeles, an old crappy building that looked terrible, but some of the greatest stuff came out of there basically because the owner bought this tremendous sound activity that was just unbelievable for the time and for the money. And Dave ended up, I'm not going to give away the whole story, but I'll find it and give it up. It's very interesting how that happened. So let's listen to Dave and see what he's got to play. The Foo Fighters lead us off today.
times like these you give and give again. It's times like these you learn to love again. It's times like these, time and time again.
So when we woke up this morning in Taos, we're a couple of weeks behind this show. We're going to try to get him to where we're within a week. There was snow on the mountain, and it reminded me of where I was born and where we grew up, which was New York. We're from upstate New York. I was born in Syracuse and lived in Troy, New York. My dad worked at my grandfather's radio station at the time. But when you think of the snow, I brought back a couple of little stories that I remember as a little kid. One of them not so great, and the other one, who knows what it was. But it was not uncommon in a place like Troy to be out of school for a week because of blizzards. And I think we left Troy, we left New York because my brother was a blue baby, which I guess was susceptible to pneumonia or things like that. And we went to Albuquerque, but that's another story. So I think we left when I was about 7, maybe 8 years old. Don't know exactly on that one. But one time I remember coming home, my dad brought me home from school, and we had a collie named Tuffy, and Tuffy was basically just a really beautiful collie, and we were pretty close to our house, and Dad was getting where he was going to turn in, and all of a sudden a car passed us very quick, and as Tuffy ran out to meet the car, the guy that passed us hit my dog, and our dog, and knocked it flying through the air and took off, and my dad shielded me from that. I knew something horrible was happening, so I had to be like 5, and later, of course, he explained how it worked, but that was one of the terrible stories. And to lighten it up just a little bit, for some reason, it was a really good school, but my parents put me into a thing called Emma Willard Day School, I believe it was, and it was actually all girls. So I don't know if that started me off on a strange path in my life, because I've certainly been intertwined with girls, good, bad, or in between, but you wonder how did they come up with that? I really don't know. Another time I can remember, we had a big house. It was on about 4 acres. Now those houses, it was not a mansion. You could buy a house back east pretty cheap. You still can in some of the areas. But I was up on the 2nd floor, and we were out of school because of a blizzard of snow. You could see it was like, I don't know, 3-4 feet with the snow. And I could look out the window, and far away on the side road near our house, again, it was a pretty good size acreage, about 4, I believe it was. I saw this car, and the snow was up to the window, and I could have sworn there was a person in the car. And about every day I'd look out there, and that person silhouetted was still there, and I thought, man, that person's frozen in the car. I'm sure that wasn't the case, or I was hallucinating, but that's what snow can do to you, and it was so dreary looking at all that. The other thing I can remember about that house is there was a big shed outside. My dad had a ride-around lawnmower, and I rode around with him on it, and there was a shed that they didn't have self-storage in those days, and the shed was, one day I went into the shed and opened it up, and I was attacked by bees or hornets, and that was quite an unpleasant experience. So the snow brings me back to New York, and where we went from New York and how it was, and the limited time that I had back there. It was still very good as far as the house was kind of a cool house. It was a big old white, a nice giant white place. And so there's my snow story for the day. So the next song that's coming out, I'm going to dedicate it to the guy who put it on my playlist, actually. When I very first started to put one together, it was actually in my regular inventory. It's dedicated to Ralph Knight. It's a song called Pepper, and so enjoy it.
Marky got with Sharon, and Sharon got Sharia. She was sharing Sharon's outlook on the topic of disease. Mikey had a facial scar and Bobby was a racist. They were all in love with dying, they were doing it in Texas. Tommy played piano like a kid out in the rain, and then he lost his leg in Dallas. He was dancing with the train. They were all in love with dying, they were drinking from a fountain that was pouring like an avalanche coming down the mountain.
I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I can taste you on my lips and smell you in my clothes. Cinnamon and sugar and softly spoken lies. You never know just how to look through other people's eyes.
Hot pursuit and fiery auto crashes. Some will die in hot pursuit while sifting through my ashes. Some will fall in love with life and drink it from a fountain that is pouring like an avalanche coming down the mountain.
I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I can taste you on my lips and smell you in my clothes. Cinnamon and sugary and softly spoken lies. You never know just how you look through other people's eyes.
Another Mikey took a knife while arguing in traffic. Flipper died a natural death, he caught a nasty virus. Then there was the ever-present football player rapist. They were all in love with dying, they were doing it in Texas. Holly caught a bullet, but it only hit his leg. Well, it should have been a better shot, got him in the head. They were all in love with dying, they were drinking from a fountain that was pouring like an avalanche coming down the mountain.
I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I can taste you on my lips and smell you in my clothes. Cinnamon and sugary and softly spoken lies. You never know just how you look through other people's eyes.
That's a song from 1996, Pepper, by the Butthole Surfers. I'm going to leave that to your imagination. That's what it is. And dedicated again to Ralph Knight. So, since we're doing some dedications, or I'm doing dedications, the next song that we're going to play is by Jethro Tull, and I'm going to send it out to my brother-in-law, Danny Sintas in El Paso. Huge Jethro Tull fan. Love Jethro, and it's a very interesting band in my time and our time with the flute and the rest of the stuff, but a very talented musician. So let's listen and enjoy Jethro Tull. Coming up next, by special request for Greg Tomaschott in the Taos Country Club area. Greg's a pal of ours, does a little bit of everything out at the club. He's been in broadcasting, he's been in television, and he said, I really enjoy the podcast, and if you'd play a little Alan Parsons. So Greg, we know you're back there partying back east at your 40th class reunion. Hopefully you're listening to the show, so here's some Alan Parsons project for you. Next, we're going to play a song by the Cocktail Slippers. Now, the Cocktail Slippers are an all-female band, and one of the things that the underground garage has done through the years is promote more, and there are more, female rock bands. When I played, there weren't any, or very few, and you might have a female lead singer. We did for a little while in one of our bands. Karen Johnson sang with the early Pigtown Lords, but these girls are good. They're good musicians. They rock it. Certainly people like Joan Jett and others have made them a little bit more famous, but the Cocktail Slippers came over. They're a Norwegian group, and Little Steven from Little Steven's Underground Garage, who has his Wicked Cool record label, he recorded them and did a song in around 2006 or 7, did a whole album with them, and they're really good. They have some pop, and they sing. They're kind of almost stealing a little bit of stuff from the Ramones, but let's go ahead and listen to the Cocktail Slippers and see what they sound like.
You are winning the competition, leaving all the others behind. You only need this final mission to get it out of your mind. Still want it, still need it. You will till the end of time. You gotta beat them, you gotta find them. Baby, you can't stop now. You're gonna run till you cannot run no more. You do run, run, run. You do run, run. You do run, run, run. You do run, run. You are still fighting. Tell me what you're fighting for. You do run, run, run. You do run, run. You do run, run, run. You do run, run. You are speeding through the city with no reflection. All you want your solitary, 'cause you can face them. Now you're walking like a ghost. Now no one can see you. Gotta beat it, gotta find it. Baby, you can't stop now. You're gonna run until you cannot run no more. You do run, run, run. You do run, run. You do run, run, run. You do run, run. You are still fighting. Tell me what you're fighting for. You do run, run, run. You do run, run. You do run, run, run. You do run, run. You're gonna run until you cannot run no more. You do run, run, run. You do run, run. You do run, run, run. You do run, run. You are still fighting. Tell me what you're fighting for. You do run, run, run. You do run, run. You do run, run, run. You do run, run.
The next song is dedicated to me, and it's dedicated because the title of it is called Dancing Fool, and it's done by Frank Zappa. Frank, if any of you have ever listened to Frank's stuff, I mean, they're way out there. His stuff is way out there, yet the guy was straight. It wasn't drugs helping along, it was his brain that allowed him to do it. So Dancing Fool is because Marlene's a good dancer and loves to dance, and of course we got together and moved around okay for a not any good of a dancer when we first got together, because somehow you make that all happen. But she's pointed out to me through the years, and I mentioned it in one of the other first show, that her opinion is that musicians are crappy dancers simply because we don't really listen to one thing. We're listening to everything else. And it is true for me. I start listening to, of course, as I mentioned before, my drums and bass and that stuff. But I pick out the lead or what somebody's doing with the chords, and probably last are the vocals. But there are moments, I did have moments of greatness on the dance floor. And I'm flashing over to Jamaica, where we were over there at a wedding, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. And we started off the morning with Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee, the best in the world and the strongest. And kept steadily drinking it. It's the kind of coffee that speeds you up through the day, but just enough to where you're not jittery, and it tastes fantastic. And the wedding was about 5 or 6 o'clock. So we had that during the day, and then there was also some of that stuff that people use. I think Mr. Clinton said that it was stuff he didn't inhale, or one of them said they didn't inhale. Well, we did inhale it throughout the day, and that was pretty good stuff. So by the time we moved around to the evening, the rum began to flow. So of course, the wedding went off fine, and then we had the big reception with the dance. And of course, at this time, my feet were starting to move in a very proper dancing mode. So we started, I guess, about 9 or 10 o'clock dancing, and at about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, that's how long they were still playing. I was wearing some kind of a dress shirt, and the dress shirt couldn't have been soaked anymore. There's no way there could be any more sweat. Marlene was dancing with me, and pretty soon the floor, there were less and less people, and probably there was 2 couples at the appointed hour of my greatness. That was at about 4 o'clock. So as I was putting the moves on, dancing all over the place, kind of actually ignoring her because I was in my own zone. When you can dance, you can dance. And I danced over by the stage and ran into a palm tree, kind of one of those. It was in a planter, or it was in a bucket, or one of those things where you could move it. And I crashed into it, and I went down and it went down. And if you've ever seen in the gym something that you can shadow box with, and you can hit it, it kind of goes up and down, but always bounces up. Well, as soon as the palm tree and I hit the floor, back up we went, one beautiful move together, never even stayed down, continued my dancing. So occasionally I will remind her of my moment of greatness in dancing. So you never know what could come out, and I don't know if that, I presume it was a moment that she'd like to forget, but when we went back, there is the dancing fool and all that it entailed with me.
I don't know much about dancing, that's why I got this song. One of my legs is shorter than the other, and both of my feet's too long. Of course, now right along with them, I got no natural rhythm, but I go dancing every night, hoping one day I might get it right. I'm a dancing fool. Dancing fool. I'm a dancing fool. Dancing fool. I hear that beat, I jump out of my seat, but I can't compete, cause I'm a dancing fool. Dancing fool. The disco folks all dressed up like they's fit to kill. I walk on in and see them there, gonna give them all a thrill. When they see me coming, they all steps aside. They has a fit while I commit my social suicide. I'm a dancing fool. Dancing fool. I'm a dancing fool. Dancing fool. The beat goes on and I'm so wrong. 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 I may be totally wrong, but I'm a dancing fool. I I may be totally wrong, but I'm a dancing fool. Yowza, yowza, yowza. I got it all together now with my very own disco clothes. Hey, my shirt's half open to show you my chain and the spoon for up my nose. I am really something, that's what you'd probably say. So smoke your little smoke, drink your little drink, while I dance the night away. I'm a dancing fool, I'm a dancing fool, I'm a dancing fool, I'm a dancing fool. He's a dancing fool. I may be totally wrong, but I'm a 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 fool, yeah.
Hey, darling, can I buy you a couple of drinks? Looking for Mr. Goodbar? Here he is. Wait a minute, I've got it. You're an Italian. Huh? You're Jewish? Oh, love your nails. You must be a Libra. Your place or mine.
Yes. Love those words, and I'm sure all of us wish that we could have said them at a certain time. And there were a couple of references to dancing in there, which I didn't realize had nothing to do with my last dancing episode. Next song is a group called, it's actually a duo called Roxette. And they're a Swedish pop duo that came out in, I guess, 80s. Had some songs. This particular song is a 92, but I like the song, and I really like, I don't usually pay that much attention to the lyrics, but in this song I do. And you can think of how many relationships that you were in that either busted up or you wish you hadn't said something and you could take it back. And this kind of saves you from all that because it gives you a chance before you actually leave to do it. So let's listen to Roxette.
Come back before you leave. Come back before you leave. Never look back on a love affair. I never spent minutes on history. It made me sad. It made me so sad. And ain't no time at all. The change has begun and the name is you. I feel strange. You made my life strange. 'Cause baby, when you get close to me, I say there's a certain chemistry. Come back before you leave. I haven't got room for a broken heart. Come back before you leave. You shouldn't go at all. You shouldn't go at all. So many years and so many nights, I still can recall the way that you move when you dance. Do you wanna dance? We have habits and attitudes. You make me remember the power when everything's right. Please stay the night. 'Cause baby, when you get
I'm sitting here and I have a big mic in front of me, and it's hanging down, and it's another upgrade that Terry helped provide for me. It's got a big arm. Actually, the first show that I did was a microphone standing up like you would typically see it on top of a bunch of books, including Yellow Page directors. And a friend of mine, Tony Nacarado, said, hey, that's probably a good use for those. And nowadays, whatever, they still have their use, but Tony gave me a little cuff on that. But when you're sitting here, I have that, and then in front of me, I have my iPad with the playlist, which I have spent plenty of time putting together, making sure songs flow, they match, and hopefully, sometimes I just put it together how I feel. So if you get too many from 2000 or too many from the 60s, it doesn't matter. I have thousands of songs. It's just kind of how I feel. Hopefully I can still cover the bases. But to my right is a little thing called a Zoom stick. And the Zoom stick that's basically the audio that I use. And when I'm playing a song, the Zoom stick is off. And when I come back on for audio, I hit the Zoom stick, take my finger off of it, and then I'm talking. And when I go back to the song, I hit it, that stops the audio recording. Well, I used to have to hold it in my hand and do it, and Terry, again, has a nice little stick. And you also can take a nice little stand for the stick. You also can take it, disengage it from the stick, and it's got a little muffler to stop from the spitting that you do in a microphone. Both of mine do, or both of them do. And you can take it and get sound bites and the rest of it. But sometimes, even though I've listened to this list many times, when I put them together, I pick the tunes, then I shuffle and listen to them on shuffle and see, okay, this one and that one, hey, that kind of worked out all right. And none of them do. And then I run them straight through on next play. And by the time I'm all done, I take some out, put some in, do the best. Again, it's when you have thousands of songs to choose from in all different decades, it's kind of a labor of love. But I just cut off of the last song and I got into Come Back Before You Leave with Roxette. And music always makes me emotional, good, bad, or in between. And it's a wonderful thing. I suppose everybody else does too. I don't know. It's obviously not unique to me. But sometimes I'll listen to a song, play 20 seconds, get ready, look at what I'm going to say next, which of course I didn't have any of this the first program. I'm actually doing a little bit of preparation this time, which I need to be so I don't sound like a jackass. And sometimes I'll get in a song and man, I want to hear it all the way through. And that's exactly how I felt about that song. So it's in another one, I'll go, okay, you've heard that, here's 20 seconds worth, let's get back to audio time. So I enjoy that, and I just thought, this is kind of strange. You listen to some songs, just all 3 minutes, and another in 20 seconds. Well, the next couple of songs that are coming up come from my personal favorites. These are the famous double playaways that I put together for years and years. I've talked to about what I want, and these are cover songs, but they really have to be, for me, in my mind, a really cool, great cover, an honest, straightforward cover, or a kind of a wacko cover, or whatever. And I'm very particular about what goes into it. So this will be, and I was thinking of a name to put it on the website. Mine is called Double Play Away, and the guys over at the garage, they have Daily Double Take. And Marlene came up with an idea. She said, Deuces Are Wild, or Deuces Are Wild something, which of course when you play cards, something's wild, this is wild, that's wild. Well, I just took a little extra and put it, Deuces Are Wilder, and that's what we're going to put on. So this is going to be, I'm kind of excited, this is going to be my first double Deuces Are Wilder that we play. And it's the Rolling Stones' great song, Satisfaction. And I played that hundreds of times in my band, and I like playing that song. I like playing Paint It Black, their tune also. But Satisfaction was a big draw in clubs and dances that we played at. And what you'll notice is that it's actually, the beat is a little bit faster than you realize, because I would look out on the dance floor sometimes and see some people a little offbeat or struggle a little bit because it's a little quicker than you might think for the song, if that makes any kind of sense. So let's go ahead and listen to the very first Deuces Are Wilder, and I promise you, there'll be plenty more of them as we go along.
Tried, and I tried, and I tried.
that exemplifies what I try to get as far as one kind of group in the Deuces Are Wilder collection, and that is it's kind of an offbeat 1978 cover by Devo, and I really like it, enjoy it, and makes the list. So when you go to our website, you'll see an iTunes icon. If you want to buy any of these songs, or any song, matter of fact, and if you buy it through that icon, we get a little bit of credit. We don't get rich, but maybe it subsidizes people's requests. If somebody requests something, as I mentioned, and really I don't want to listen to it, it's within reason, and I don't want to listen to it at home, I'll buy it, play it, and discard it. So if you ever do want to buy something, like you want to buy the double play off the list, buy it through that icon and we'll get a little bit of credit for it. So coming up next is somebody who had a big influence, as we talked about earlier on, and that's Ricky Nelson. Talked about it in my giant long intro in our very first program, what an influence he was. Seeing him sitting there, handsome, girls around him, music. I said, man, that's the best of all worlds. So I have plenty of stories to tell about Ricky Nelson and my great friend Ty Grimes and how the two actually met up later in their lives. But for right now, listen how sweet and great that this man sings. Tragically died in a plane wreck in 1989, but he had it all going on. So Ricky Nelson, let's do a little Ever Lovin'.
Ever loving, ooh, ever loving, ever loving, ooh, ever loving, ever loving, you're my one desire. Ever loving, you set my soul on fire. Ever loving, I'll be ever loving you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ever loving, I will treat you tender. Ever loving, if you will surrender. Ever loving, I'll be ever loving you. Whoa, whoa. You're my darling, the only one I'm dreaming of. I gotta make you mine, 'cause you're the only one I'll ever love. Ever loving, say you'll leave me never. Ever loving, I'll be yours forever. Ever loving, I'll be ever loving you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're my darling, the only one I'm dreaming of. I gotta make you mine, 'cause you're the only one I'll ever love. Ever loving, say you'll leave me never. Ever loving, I'll be yours forever. Ever loving, I'll be ever loving you. Oh, yeah, yeah. Ever loving, I'll be ever loving you. Oh, yeah, yeah. Ever loving, I'll be ever loving you. Oh, yeah, yeah. Ever loving, I'll be ever loving you. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, I listened to all of that. He had a great voice, great group behind him at all times when he played, and he epitomized all the fun and great things about early rock and roll, probably late 50s, early 60s. I never get tired of listening to his tunes. Got plenty of them. Also throw out some of the Everly Brothers, which one of the groups we heard early on, try to channel the Everly Brothers a little bit. Next guy coming up, next band coming up, Savoy Brown. And believe it or not, I think I scooped the Underground Garage. And if I didn't, I apologize, because I've listened to that channel for 10 or 11 years. And how I've never heard Savoy Brown, who started in 67, 68, and had an album come out August 25th, 2017. Now, Kit, their one mainstay, a guitar player. They've had several singers. They've had people go off and form bands that you might know, such as Foghat. But tremendous musicians. And it makes me think of Hud Jones, my dearly departed friend. Hud loved Savoy Brown. Well, anyways, I was doing some research, putting this stuff together, and I ran into something. I said, "That's Savoy Brown. I cannot believe it." I said, "I don't have any of Savoy Brown. He is awesome. Their group is awesome. Great blues, great rock in the middle of the blues, and they have a great slide player that will play some of that later." And I was always trying to identify. I went to San Francisco in the crazy days. I was playing, but we went out just to cruise around. I went out with a few people. I don't remember who they were, but it was right in the middle of Haight-Ashbury, and that is so crazy, Haight-Ashbury. If I told you all what went on, you wouldn't believe me, and if you weren't there, you had to see it. You'd walk down the street, and everybody's house was open. You could just walk right in the front door. Action was happening. People were playing. People were dancing. People were necking. People were doing drugs. Didn't matter. It really was like peaceful. It was strange. And of course, later on, it didn't take much before the humans wrecked it. You had guys like Manson and other took advantage of all that, and there was some murdering and this and that to ruin it. But believe me, it was peaceful love for a period of about 9 or 10 months in '67. But back to my original story, we were going to see a concert. It did cost me a crispy $5 bill to go to Billy Graham's Fillmore West, which, by the way, my band, Sonny Farlow and the Resurrection, got booked there. That'll be a later story that we'll get into. That was a very hot place at that time. So we went for $5 to see 10 years after, and doing their Alvin Lee and doing their American debut. We went and saw Spirit from Los Angeles. We saw Creedence Clearwater, and I could not remember who the fourth band was. Well, when I ran into Savoy Brown, I said, "I think, not 100% sure, so don't bring out your $5 ticket and show me that that's who it wasn't. That wasn't them, but I kind of think that's the missing band." But this was on a Sunday when I found them. And Marlene and I were going to do something. I was up here. An hour and 40 minutes and 50 downloaded songs later, I was like, whoa. And I kept playing songs for her. She said, "These guys are great. They're awesome. They're wonderful." Well, they are. And they make the point that if you're rock and roll will never die. And if you're good at it and can play like those people can, talented musicians, good singing, they've basically been rolling for 50 years, different iterations of the band, but Savoy Brown is a great band that in 11 years on the Underground Garage, and I've listened all times, night and day. So if you guys, if I'm wrong, let me know. If I'm right, get them into the garage and get them on. So let's enjoy a little something from Savoy Brown. Actually, it's not a little something. It's a good, solid tune from Savoy Brown. One of their first ones that did well on the airwaves. And what a powerful group to see live.
I'm supposed to feel that's fine. I didn't make the world I'm living in, and I ain't gonna toe the line. I'm tired of trying to be something I know ain't me. I'm tired of living up to what people expect me to be. You know that some people are different now, ain't that a crying shame? Now wouldn't it be a real drag if we were all the same? And I'm not gonna try to please eyes that just don't see it. If I get myself together, you have the blues, not me.
try to be something I know we need. I'm tired of living up to what people expect me to be. You know that some people are different now, ain't that a crying shame? Now wouldn't it be a real drag if we were all the same? And I'm not gonna try to please eyes that just don't see. If I get myself together, you have the blues, not me. 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 You have the blues, not me.
Hi, this is Harry Sweet Sweet Peach, bringing you one of my favorites off of the Candy Cane list. Enjoy.
The truth can hurt, the truth will make you cry. It will break you down and make you wish it was alive. You wanna lose it, you better move it. I said, baby, be a real straight shooter. You can look high, you can look low, but you won't find no man who's gonna love you anymore.
of it. Next, we're going to play a group that I always thought was underrated. When I played, loved them, and I had a chance to see them, Young Rascals I'm talking about. I had a chance to see them. They were broken, well, they didn't play together for 40 years. One of their fellow musicians in New York got cancer, and all he wanted to do is see if they would get together and do a benefit for them. So little Steven reached out to him. They did a benefit, and after 40 years, they didn't lose a thing. Felix, Dino, and I'm really loved when I played the drumming of Dino, and my friend Ty did too, and that's another story, how they hooked up later down the road that we'll get to. But listen to his foot when he does Come On Up.
Don't you hear the music, baby? Don't it feel good, baby? Let it get to you, baby. Try and let go. You don't have to worry about a thing. Just come on up. Come on up. Just come on up, baby, and have a good time. Love to watch it happen, baby, when I dance with you, baby. Love to see the music changing right up to the moon, and you don't have to worry about a thing. Come on up. Just come on up. Just come on up, baby, and have a good time. Come on now, give it a try. Wow. Started nice and easy, baby. Take it real slow, baby. Just let it take you, baby, where you wanna go, baby. Come on with me, baby. Don't let me go alone, baby. Keep on pushing, baby, until we get home. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? You know, I just can't stop. I just can't stop.
Great meter, great foot, loved the whole band. In fact, little Steven, stealing a quote from him, he was in a battle of the bands, and he thought it was hot stuff, as we all did at that thing. We thought our music was the greatest, and they kind of opened in the battle of bands. Either they had it or the battle of the bands, they were the winner, and they were opening for the Young Rascals. And little Steven said when he was done, he wanted to go home and put his guitar into the closet and never take it out again. That's how good we are. Well, we're coming to the end of our first really lengthy show. Wanted more music, we had more music, so hopefully it's the longest and the strongest of our show. Next week we're going to do some things from Neil Young. We're going to have Dr. John, ZZ, the Hollies, and a band maybe you hadn't heard of, the Hawaii Mud Bombers. But thanks again for listening. Hope you enjoy it, and please keep sending your requests in.
to hear.
Finding the right people to build your business is a brutal business in itself. The rules haven't just changed. Thanks to technology and social media, they've been rewritten completely. People can find new opportunities with a click. They can damage your reputation with a tweet. And next week, the rules could change all over again. At S2E Solutions, we bring a fresh perspective to talent management. We can build your employer brand, create your career website, manage your reputation on social media, and much more. Visit S2ESolutions.com and start winning the war for talent.
Rock and roll favorites on RadioWilder.com.